So my name is Corey Vincent, and I'm in ELRC 3500, Section 1. So first, I'm gonna start off with my biography, and this was cool. And this purpose of this was to introduce myself, explain my experience with technology, how I see this course helping me, and what I would like to learn in the class. And here's a little preview of it. Nothing too crazy, just a little breakdown of myself. Um, Next, I want to talk about the name tent that we did, and we had to create a name tent to allow others to learn my name and my face all at the same time. So they attached my name to my face, and Miss Debbie used it to take roll in class. Next, I want to talk about the goals and objectives activity on inspiration, which is right here. We made a map to be able to understand how to create a template that gives a visualization of personal goals and objectives. And I think this helps you reach them, and this helped me to better see kind of where I wanted to go and what my next step was in terms of things that were just in my head. I kind of got to put them on paper, and that was cool. As you can see here, I wanted to be able to understand how to break down game film effectively by the time that I graduate, and I'm about to graduate, and I'm definitely headed in that direction. And the objectives are kind of on the side here, but that was fun because again, I got to see what I was thinking rather than just thinking about it. I got to put it all on paper and visualize it. Next, I want to talk about Symbaloo and Digo, and this is something I really enjoyed because I felt like, um, of course, I'm going to use these to bookmark sites and help, and they're going to help navigate me quickly to websites that I always use. And I'm going to show you an example here of Symbaloo and how the layout is. I like the layout because you get to create your own layout and put things where you want them to be. And I think you just get to places quicker. I can fill this whole thing up with anything, and at one click of a button, I click Hoops Hype and it takes me straight there, and I'm right on the website that I need to be on. So I think that was really cool, just to again be able to create my own way of navigating to where I need to get to quickly. That's why I really like Digo and Symbaloo. They're both very effective in their purposes, and I like Digo more than Symbaloo, though. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Next, I want to talk about Publisher, doing our travel brochure right here, and I would use Publisher to create a brochure down the line for a business that I have, or maybe a nonprofit that I have. And I don't know. I thought this was cool because it just taught me how to make a brochure, and I'm so used to opening them up, but not understanding what the process that goes into them is. And here I did Turks and Caicos travel destination, and it was really fun because again, I like to be creative, and it was fun just creating what I wanted to create and putting things in place and organize. I like organizing stuff as well, and just having to organize this stuff and make it look nice. So that was cool. And next, I want to talk about our Canva presentation, which ties into our travel brochure, but is different because it's a presentation. And I liked using Canva for this slide presentation because it was fun and it was different. It allowed me to use more use more layouts and implement again my own creativity, and I can do more with the layouts that they were giving me. I mean, they gave me this, and it looks professional. Everything looks professional. It looks neat. It looks nice and clean. And I had fun doing this. I had a lot of fun doing this as well. Next, I want to discuss the mobile app presentation I did on Pocket App, and this was cool. This was interesting because it was done on Google, and I've never done a PowerPoint presentation on Google, and it's not that much different from PowerPoint itself, but I didn't have a problem with it. It was kind of the same as PowerPoint presentation. Next, I want to talk about the keynote movie that we did. I know you said to not post it, Miss Debbie, but I posted it because we had it, and I really liked learning about Morgan and being creative with her in making this project. Again, I like being creative. I like doing things that stimulate the mind, and I felt like in this we were challenged to come together on certain music, and we were, I don't know, it was cool learning about her, learning her hobbies and interests, and what school she came from, and what her future plans are. That was fun to do, and I mean that was, I definitely enjoyed this because you come into class not knowing anyone, and then you meet someone, and you're doing a project with them, and sometimes you kind of just are doing it just to do it, to just to get it out the way. But I think this project forced us to have to learn about each other and create a conversation as well. Next, I want to talk about the blogger that I did on basketball, and this was cool. I mean, again, I get to be creative. I got to create my own website. I got the court in the background. I got to put the colors together. That was fun. And just discussing stuff that was required on there, like RSS feeds, which I didn't understand. I already knew what it was. All it is just updated news. As you can see here on the right, um, the most recent update I have for the NBA RSS feed is from 2019 for some reason. I don't know why it's like that, but um, it's just the latest news. Same thing as Twitter, all that stuff. They have RSS feeds on there all the time, and you get it on your phone all the time from apps and stuff like that. And in the future, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a blog that, I mean, it doesn't have to be basketball. It could be something that's alternative. Like it could be music. It could be just inspirational. I like motivational stuff, so I could just make a motivational page. Um, it was cool to even learn about blogs themselves and create my own. One of my friends is actually working on a blog now, and he's a strength coach, and he's posting a whole bunch of blogs for people to read. And this was like kind of just forced me to reminisce on creating my own blog. So I thought that was cool. Next, I want to talk about the movie that I did, which was probably the most I've enjoyed in the class, just because I got to be super creative. And this was the smaller version of of my video. I made it real dramatic with the music and the clips that I used, but and I tried to make it entertaining as well. It was a fun video. It was funny, at least in my opinion. I laugh at myself all the time, so that was funny. And it was funny using my little brother to act and stuff like that. That was fun. Next, I want to talk about the Google site, and making the site was cool because again, I got to be creative. I got to customize all the stuff I wanted. And here we have my home page, which is a picture of me in the background. There's a picture of me on every page just because I don't know, I just felt like it was needed. And here I'm just discussing, it's like a biography, just discussing who I am and what I want to do in the future. And then I dive more into detail on the next page, talking about my future plans of, in the short term, wanting to be a graduate assistant with the men's basketball team of LSU, and long term coaching in the NBA. And then my next page is the hobbies, interests, and more page, where I discuss just my hobbies, interests, and a little bit more about myself, which are playing basketball, watching movies, playing video games, laughing, and spending time with friends and family. My last page is just an introduction to my blog. I just talk about the purpose of my blog, which is to talk about what's going on in the basketball world on the collegiate and professional levels. And I plan to blog about things that create content that keeps people updated on basketball, just little stuff like that. And then my final page is of my resume. Apparently Miss Debbie said it wasn't public, but this is just like a little resume about myself. And again, this project was fun because I got to be creative, and definitely got to get in tune with my real creative side on that, because it allowed me to make my own website. That was cool. Next, I have the discussion. Let's talk about what I thought of this website, Padlet. Padlet it's a cool website. I've used it for other classes, and again, I like organizing stuff. This is a little bit scattered for me. I kind of like stuff to be a little more intact, but this is a cool way of putting things together and being creative. And I liked using it for a portfolio because I don't know, you could just see everything. You can kind of see all that we did. It was cool going back and seeing everything that we've done and uh, looking back and remembering even the time. I remember me and Morgan were in class one day and we were struggling to save the video as like a short video. It kept saving as an hour long video, and just seeing me, I mean, just posting the video in itself on here and having to look back at stuff, that was like one of the things that stood out to me because we were struggling. But it's just cool to look back and laugh at that. My final thoughts of just this screencast, and I already kind of talked about Padlet, but of this screencasting, I like this because I don't know, you can kind of you see exactly what I'm doing. Rather than me just talking to you about certain stuff, you can see me navigating across the screen, and I don't know, it just seems more engaging. So if I wanted to say, hey, here's Blogger, you can see me doing this. Hey, here's Blogger, rather than saying me just randomly being like, hey, look at my Blogger page. Now you gotta look around the entire page. No, no, no. I like that you can see where my mouse is and what I'm trying to get across to you. Um, what I liked about the class was just the camaraderie of it, meaning I liked how it just felt like a family environment. Like we all it felt real open, and it was cool. Although I felt like people could have talked a little more, um and not just wanting to get out of class real quick. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot because it tapped into my creative side. I learned a lot about different creative things like creating a site and creating a blog and creating movies, stuff like that, and creating a brochure, stuff like that. I like being creative, so that's what I liked about the class. It forced me to tap into that side of myself. The improvements that can be made, I think, I think having people be more active in class. I think people can jump into discussion more. I think people can just talk a little more and really enjoy the time set out. I think. What's next for me is I'm gonna pursue my master's degree in sports management at LSU. So I'll be here for another 2 years, working on my graduate assistantship with the LSU men's basketball team, and pursuing my career down the line to be an NBA head coach. So really, that's it for me. Again, thank you, Miss Debbie, for everything, and I couldn't appreciate you more. I definitely enjoyed talking with you in the time that we had at the end of class or before class. The discussions that we've had, I think were cool. I like how personable you were with everyone, and um, how just how you engage everyone. I was really inspired by that. So thank you for having me, and best of luck to you. And just thank you for spreading positivity and being a positive light in all of our lives. So thank you.